September 1st, 1939. My name is Jan Kowalski. I was a student of literature in Paznag, but for the last year, my home was here, in Wheeler, a quiet town known for its cheese and its 14th century church. They told us we were a tripwire force. Our job was to report what we saw. We never expected to be the first thing Hitler wanted to erase from the map. At 4:40 a.m., the world ended. The sound, it wasn't like in training. It was a scream from the sky. Then the walls shook. We ran outside. They weren't hitting the barracks. They were hitting the town, the hospital, the church. My professor once told me war had rules. This was a massacre. Our horses went mad with fear. Our orders were useless. Hold position. Hold what? There was no position, only fire. We were soldiers, but we became rescue workers, pulling families from ruins, with no tools but our hands. This was the Blitzkrieg. It wasn't a battle against soldiers. It was the destruction of a world, and everyone in it. By 7 a.m. Wheeler was gone, and we, the Wuiska Cavalry Brigade, were now just survivors in a landscape of ash. We regrouped our new order to lay them. The only way was to hit fast and fall back. When we saw them, it wasn't tanks at first. It was scouts we had a chance. A saber can still silence a machine gun crew. We charged. It felt less like tactics and more like a statement. You will not pass for free. The noise was unbearable. The whip crack of bullets, the screams of horses. We fought, dismounted like infantry. We used the forests for hiding. We bled for every meter. We weren't idiots, charging tanks with lances. That was German propaganda, and it stuck. We were men using what we had to slow an avalanche. By evening, we had held, for a day, the cost. I didn't let myself count the faces missing around the campfires. I found my diary in the mud. The pages were damp. I didn't know if it was from the dew or from my tears. That night, we were ghosts. We had done what was asked, and it had changed nothing. The stories began to trickle in. Westerplatte was holding, but everywhere else, the line was crumbling. I thought about my literature studies. The epic poems of heroes. There were no heroes here. Only tired, dirty men who wanted to live. We shared what food we had. No one spoke of the dead. It was too soon, and the list was too long. I wrote to my family. I don't know if the letter would ever be sent. I wrote that I was safe, that we were winning. The first lie of the war. The worst was the silence between the explosions. In the silence, you remembered. You remembered the faces, the screams, the smell of burning. I was a student of poetry, and on the first day, I learned that war has no poetry. It only has an ending. My story is just one of thousands. A single page in a diary filled with the blood and ink of history. We fought on for weeks, but the first day decided everything. We learned the hard cost of being alone, but we did fight. Remember that. Remember that. When the world was silent, Poland fought. This was the first entry in my diary. Subscribe to Soldier's Diary, and I will tell you what happened next.